What is up, friends? Welcome back. We have a special episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show for you tonight. It's Monday evening, July 21st, so thanks for hanging out with us on a Monday. We're going to be doing a best ball draft over on Drafters. We're joined by John and Matt tonight. John, how are we doing?
Good, man. Doing good.
And John and I have done, I think we did one of these already, maybe a few weeks back, but Matt, you are joining us live for the first time this season.
Yes, sir.
Best ball, how are we doing tonight?
Doing amazing.
Doing amazing. Glad to hear it. We got a couple other people. I think there might be one or two other people that are watching the stream that are going to be drafting with us as well. I'm just going to get the screen share going here. Looks like Matt's in the 5 hole, and then John all the way at 11. I'm in the 12 spot, and I'm not sure who else is drafting with us. If I know my guy Scott is in here tonight. He's a longtime listener, and he's always a smart mind. I'm not sure what spot or username Scott is, but we got a lot of people in here. So good evening to everybody. Matt.
Yes.
The 5 spot, man. What? How many best balls have we done so far this year?
You know, I've mostly done slows this year, only a handful of fasts.
Okay.
And I've actually got really lucky. It's like all 1s or 2s or like the back end, so this will be new for me. 5. So we'll see who falls.
Good, and I've really laid off the drafter this year. I'm more so focusing on draft.
Nice, Matt.
Can you hear me? I think my internet might have died.
I might have muted myself.
I can hear you, Matt.
All right, I've actually been having internet issues for the last month. It just randomly goes out for 10 seconds.
That's the way it is. But you get CeeDee Lamb there. Was that an easy choice?
Easy choice. Got to do it.
I think CeeDee Lamb's the wide receiver one this year. I think he could be the first player off the board this year. So I'm all in on CeeDee Lamb. John, you take it away for us here as it approaches this dangerous turn.
Yeah, I'm hoping. There's a lot of fun receivers here. It's a pretty fun receiver connection to make. I'd be very happy with Neighbors, Nico, or Sun God Amon-Ra here. So that's kind of where my head's at. I probably have Nico above the other two, but I don't think you can go wrong.
Do you find yourself interested in a running back here, or are you going double receiver likely?
I think running back is where I go the next, more likely for the wraparound.
Okay.
But I definitely, this is a very high likelihood receiver situation for me as well. I kind of want it Nico. I'm starting to think maybe I could go running back, but I think I'm just going to go Sun God. That seems
Sun God. Okay. So you give me the list of Christian McCaffrey, Ashton Genty is going to get the volume. Devon Achan's going to get the volume. I absolutely love Drake London as well. A little disappointed that Brian Thomas Jr. did not fall to us. I think 7's a bit rich. But I think with this turn pick, I'm going to keep it simple and just collect like the volume of Ashton Genty. And sure, he could be top 5 running back, but I feel good about him at least being a top 10 back where I'm not going to hate this pick. It might be like Bijan's rookie year. Remember, like when everyone was drafting him pretty early?
for sure.
And then this is where I struggle because I kind of want to stay balanced here, man. But Drake London, top 5 receiver last year, to get him at this price feels pretty good. But we're gonna do something crazy. We're gonna go double running back to start.
Yeah, I kind of wanted Achan, but I'm very happy with London. I not a bad problem to have there. The back here is really nice. It's a good spot to be.
I was being just very conscious about, one, my stacking partner is you, so you're next to me. I want to be almost doing the opposite of what you're doing this at the start, because when I'm going to need receivers, you're going to be needing running backs. So I think we're going to mesh pretty well as the draft goes on. So I'm happy to be doing running back while you do receiver. But Matt, you're going to be up in a few picks here. Just what sticks out? Like McCaffrey's not going to fall here, but you have a legit chance of pretty much anybody on the board here falling to.
I wouldn't even take McCaffrey if he fell to me, to be honest. I'm all out on CMC for best ball.
Okay.
Just too risky. I just want like home run hitters, and I was doing this is my first draft in a couple weeks. I took a break,
Yep.
and I used to do running backs early, but receivers would go so fast. It's like I need to go receivers early now. Like last year, I was like looking at my winning team, and like, I just got lucky. I got 2 stud running backs like later on. And it's like I can't really do that anymore.
Well, anyone that got Saquon at the round 3 turn, you pretty much punched your ticket.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to go Brock Bowers here actually, just to get a.
It's kind of an ugly lay here, like Derrick Henry, JT, Tyreek. Like I'm not super in love with this spot.
Yeah, I'm not either actually. I might go Brock Bowers actually. I'm gonna do it.
I think in this contest specifically, it pays to have a top, like an elite tight end. Like in DraftKings, you can kind of get away with it, but on a season-long perspective, I think it does pay to have one of these top 3 or 4 or 5 tight ends. I do have a question in the chat that I want to ask you guys and see what you guys can think of here. This is from Tony. Can George Pickens have a T. Higgins type season this year with Dallas? I feel he's being a bit overlooked. I'm very big in the Dallas offense. I know Matt grabbed CeeDee Lamb, and George Pickens is going to have a huge benefit just playing opposite CeeDee Lamb because defenses can't really take away George Pickens one-on-one. They got to worry about CeeDee now. And Matt's a big Bengal guy. Do you see any upside of a T. Higgins type season where he goes for 1,000 and like maybe 10 touchdowns or something like that?
When that trade first happened, I actually kind of thought that. I was like, George Pickens could be a sneaky good, like under the radar play there. But I'm just worried about Dak Prescott and his health still getting older. I still think CD will get the volume no matter what. And then George Pickens with the character concerns. I mean, the ceiling is there, definitely. But I just don't know if it's, a lock.
Did you have any thoughts on George Pickens there, John?
Honestly, I haven't been as plugged into Cowboys situation, but I definitely can see the vision there that you're talking about. A really, really overqualified number 2 receiver with a above average quarterback throwing the ball. If that all if people stay healthy and things go somewhat according to plan, you could definitely make a great case for him to have a big year and not have a lot of intense coverage. I think this theoretically would be the season of the least amount of coverage he's seen in his life in the NFL.
100%. Matt, you got 20 seconds here. This is an interesting spot. And you go Josh Jacobs, so we're well balanced here.
I've been clicking Breece Hall every time, and I just need to get some Josh Jacobs shares. So
Josh Jacobs feels like a really easy click for me in the 3rd round because like Devontae, you can kind of be like, yeah, he could still be good. JSN, I still worry about Darnold a little bit. Jacobs and I think Breece Hall also, maybe even Kieran. Those running backs look really good in round 3. And they usually don't last all the way to me. I'm assuming John's going to get one here at 35. But John, if you want it, you're going to be up to deck on the pick here. So you take it away, John, and we'll see how this turn goes.
I feel like if I say it, it's going to get spoiled. So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut for 2 seconds here. But definitely eyeing up a running back. So we'll see what Coach Ainge does to me.
So I will just finish on the George Pickens things. Like I think you guys would both agree that best ball is probably easier to click on him and trust him as your wide receiver 3 or flex every week, right?
Yeah, best ball for sure. I can actually see that now. John put it in a good way. He said overqualified wide receiver 2. He definitely could have a T. Higgins.
I mean, he might be the red zone offense too. They're going to take he's going to have those deep shots whenever he wants. They don't really have a tall guy that can go above the rim and dunk. Here, I'm not super in love. 3rd running back in Kieran Williams. I think they could be. So John, back. Nervous about Terry McLaurin? I'm going to do something weird that I haven't really done. George Kittle action. So I have 2 running backs and a tight end here without a receiver. Rashee Rice. Not taking Rashee Rice right now. I would like to think Terry McLaurin's going to get something figured out. So I'm just going to collect him. I'm a little bit nervous about that, the contract situation. He seemed pretty disgruntled earlier. I think it was last week. But I'm getting very concerned about the 49ers and who the hell they're going to throw the ball to. I think it could just be another monster year for George Kittle.
I agree with that. Yeah, George Kittle might be in for a big year.
I mean, we're talking no Debo. We're talking Brandon Ayuk, who might be on PUP list to start the year. You got Juwan Jennings requesting more money or a trade already, and you got Ricky Pearsall on PUP for training camp to start the year. I don't know who's healthy outside of George Kittle. I know McCaffrey's still there, but this is a really fragile-looking offense all of a sudden. So I think it feels rich paying for Kittle at pick 36, but in this contest specifically, I think I'm locking in a top 3 or 4 tight end scorer, and I don't need to invest a ton at the position the rest of the way. But we're moving into – did you have something there, Matt?
No, I was just wondering, like, what is your approach actually for these? Because, like, whenever I do best balls, in the back of my mind, I just want, like, the highest ceiling no matter what, including situations.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want – like, I would never take him on Ross St. Brown. I mean, I know he's steady and great, but it's like I would always take Neighbors, like, over him every time.
For Amon-Ra to have that nut ceiling, he'd have to catch like 12, 13 touchdowns, which it's definitely possible. But I actually find myself shying away from the Lions just a little bit. I still think Amon-Ra is going to be good, but I like with Genti and Achane, I think there's a legit opportunity for both those guys to be a top 3 running back. I like that ceiling. I think Kittle could be the tight end 1. I think that's kind of the mindset is you want to look for these guys that could just out. Sometimes all it takes is touchdowns. Sometimes they need an injury to get them ahead of somebody else, but I'm trying to find number 1s at almost every position. Like I don't feel good about my receivers, obviously, with Terry McLaurin, but I'm going to probably have a lot of depth at the receiver position. But yeah, just from doing the research, it looks like you do need to hit. You either need that number 1 scoring running back or that number 1 scoring receiver. And last year it was if you had Saquon, you probably did pretty well. If you had Jamar Chase, you probably did pretty well. So it's looking for those 2 positions specifically, and then making sure you have tight end and quarterbacks covered.
Yep. I think I had like 2s everywhere last year for my good team. It was like Justin Jefferson, Joe Burrow. I had Saquon too, actually.
And I think it's a fun competition because you really need to fill out you need 20 rounds of almost like no bad picks, right?
Yes. Sorry, I'm up to pick next year. I'm thinking here.
And you're stacking a little Dallas cheese right now.
I did reach on Pickens last round just because I was like, I might as well get the stack. So
no, that's he probably wouldn't have made it. I'm curious what you guys want to talk about the Chiefs at all a little bit with Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice. I'm seeing Worthy now go routinely in the middle of the 3rd round, and I was never into Rashee Rice because I figured stuff was coming, and then just I'm nervous about the knee injury return. But Worthy could be really
all off of Rashee Rice for this year. Isn't the suspension coming? Or I heard news about it.
They haven't released anything yet, but they did sentence him to 5 years probation and however long was it 30 days in jail or something?
30 days,
like
yeah.
So who knows? He's going to get suspended, whether it's 3 games or 4 games at the minimum. I think it's upwards of maybe 6 games. So especially in this contest where it's a season long, like I want the guys that are going to score the most points. Rashi's not going to do that.
Right.
So here I'll never click him. I think DraftKings and Underdog, you can make a case just because it's playoff format. Once you get to weeks 15, 16, 17, anything can happen. But John, you could take it away here. I'm just going to look around at some stuff.
No, you're good.
We got Joey B falling a little bit, but nobody's got really. No one's got really Bengals stuff going. I really don't like this part of the board. Joe Burrow, Swift, Henderson. I'm not like loving any of these clicks that I'm seeing on my list right now. It's pretty ugly, actually.
Yeah, I might go chalk. I mean, we all like Joe Burrow this year.
In this format, man, if you get Joe Burrow to be the QB1, that's going to help a lot of things for you. I think the Saints are going to be dog shit bad, but I think Olave, if he stays healthy, he's going to get opportunities to be up there in yards and touchdowns this year. And then look at this. This is so ugly, man.
This is what happened to me when I did 2 RBs to start, and I was like, I can't do this anymore, like because the wide receivers are so bad once you get these rounds.
My guy Harris is saying Joe Mixon's a steal. I don't know if I'm into Joe Mixon. I'm going to do something a little bit different here. We're going to grab Romo Dunze. So I think I kind of landed this 0 receiver start with McLaurin, Olave, and Odunze. I think I got some big names in there. We'll continue to draft that position. But let's get to some. I got some more questions here. Harris is asking, would you rather have Matthew Stafford, T. Higgins, and Ray Davis, or would you rather have, I'm assuming that's Sam Darnold, Rashee Rice in a third round in a PPR Superflex Dynasty? I don't know if that's too much to think about right now. It's basically Higgins or Rashee Rice is what this deal comes down to. I think I'm taking the Higgins, Stafford, Ray Davis side.
Can you read the other side for me one more
Yeah.
time?
So it's Matthew Stafford, T. Higgins, and Ray Davis.
Uh-huh.
Then the other side is Sam Darnold, Rashee Rice, and a third round pick. And this is PPR Superflex Dynasty.
I think I'm taking the Higgins side, but like if you're trying to compete and you're right now and your QB situation is trash, the Darnold or if you're competing, your QB situation shouldn't be trash. But if you're trying to win and you need another QB, you could make a good argument for the Darnold side. But otherwise, just straight up, I like that Higgins side so much more.
For 2025, which quarterback would you rather leave as your QB2 all year, Darnold or Stafford?
Oh, I forgot about Stafford. Okay, yeah. I like the Higgins side across the board. Yeah.
Matt just grabbed David Montgomery there, who I still like. It's crazy. David Montgomery's so underrated. You're going to get your 10 touchdowns. You're going to get your 1,000 yards. I think in this format, Montgomery's a pretty good click here because round 6 looks like a lot of landmines. Like, I don't know. John grabbed DeAndre Swift to kind of plug in there as a flex running back. I don't draft a lot of Caleb Johnson or Travion Henderson here. All right, let's talk about Joe Mixon because Harris says he was a steal. I'm struggling to click on Joe Mixon here, but I think in this round he does look better than some of the other names that are being taken.
I can see the vision on Mixon. It's a good offense. He's got the history of being a clear bell cow. He's done it in that offense. So.
How old is he getting though? Because as a Bengals fan, I watched him all the time. He would always get dinged
29.
up.
Yeah, he's old for a running back.
And he would always get dinged up. He's always missing some games, it feels like.
He's 28 right now. He
was
will be
really good last year, actually.
Oh, he's gonna be 29 in 3 days. My issue is they not only draft a running back in Woody Marks, which no matter how you feel about him, they're adding to the running back room. You still have Dameon Pierce there, and then they go and get Nick Chubb. That kind of, it's weird, just adding more bodies at that position. And then for them to lose Laramie Tunsil in that Washington trade, I think their left side of the offensive line's all new. And I think the Texans might just have to throw the ball this year. So when I think about the Texans and what is going to work best, it goes back to Nico for me.
Of course, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, Nico was the guy I wanted the most at 11. I think I've got Nico over Brian Thomas right now, which has been a debate I've been having all off season here.
Curious, like we had 3 rookie running backs go here, guys. R.J. Harvey at 70, Travion Henderson at 64, Caleb Johnson at 63. Are these clicks for any of you guys here in this 6th round?
I think I've gotten Caleb Johnson. Not many other ones, because didn't they pay Ramondre Stevenson? I'm still hesitant about that.
They gave Ramondre a 3-year extension last year.
I still feel like this first year it's going to be split pretty evenly.
I don't see it for this year. I think this is a terrible ADP for Travion Henderson. And then the same thing with Caleb Johnson. It's like, why take Caleb Johnson when you can get David Montgomery? At 68, I think you got the pick that he should have taken at 63.
Well,
so that I don't get.
Yeah, I think it's just his ADP. I don't know if it's the injury or if people just think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to take over completely now. I don't know what it is, but he should still get goal line touches and still be viable. Because didn't Gibbs not pop off until the injury last year? Once David Montgomery got hurt, then he was like, wow.
He missed a couple games, and then we saw some beast Gibbs stuff, and then at that point, I think they just couldn't take away from him. He was that good.
He's that good, yeah. So I get what people are thinking about that. But go ahead, sorry.
I'm going to take a chance on Ricky Pearsall, who I know is falling. He had a 74 ADP. I get him at 84. I just building a little 49ers thing out here. Curious, John, are you going to take Matthew Golden if I let him slide here?
I've got a lot of week 5 bye week receivers if we do that. But, yeah, I was probably going to do it. I'm glad you did it. And now I'm looking at another guy, Darnell Mooney. I need to switch
Yeah,
out.
build out the ATL. I'm pretty. I think I did okay with the zero wide receiver approach. I ended up with McLaurin, Olave, Odunze, Pearsall, and Golden. So I'm a mix of some really young up and comer guys, and hopefully McLaurin and Olave can anchor me. But yeah, I don't know how Pittsburgh's going to operate. You have a slow offense with Aaron Rodgers. I still think Jalen Warren's going to run the ball and be effective as a pass catcher. I don't see Caleb Johnson catching a lot of passes. For him to have a big game, I think it's going to be like 80 yards and a touchdown at most. So I don't see the ceiling there. And then we were touching on Travion Henderson. That's a two-way split. I do not see, unless Ramondre gets hurt, then maybe Henderson can say screw you. But I think Henderson is one of the worst picks on the board so far at this.
For the ADP, yeah.
But so because this is a season-long contest, like I just don't see him accruing enough points to matter. Whereas the DraftKings underdog format, sure, weeks 15, 16, 17, if Ramondre Stevenson's out, yeah, Travion could be just getting 20 touches a game, and he could be the guy there. So I think there's different ways to look at it based on what you're playing. But Matt, you got something lining up pretty nice here.
I don't even know if I want Kelsey if he falls, to be honest. I think he's
it's like it happening in slow motion. I don't want to say the name, but you said it.
I wasn't planning on taking him, to be honest. I thought he would have been gone already.
Take us through this.
I might just do it just because I don't think I have any Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey stacks, so I'll just do it.
Yeah.
But I already have Bowers, though. That's the only thing. But then I guess I'm set for tight end, though.
You might be able to try a 2 tight end situation. I pretty much always only draft 3 tight ends. That's kind of like a lock for me.
I'm going to go Cooper Cup, actually.
We did get a question in here about the 49ers receivers. Ricky Pearsall was placed on the PUP with a hamstring. So any questions on his durability? I think it's worth raising an eyebrow at, but teams aren't practicing yet. If he's missing the second and third week of practice, then I'll probably be a little bit worried. But I think right now, not a healthy Ayuk. Jawan Jennings is not necessarily a proven guy yet. I think there's a lot of open opportunity for San Francisco receivers. And then I guess the other question is Jawan Jennings, the undisputed wide receiver one. Like, what are you guys? How are you guys handling these wide receivers in San Fran?
No idea. I like Ayuk, but no idea.
So I read some bad stuff on Ayuk that he's not going to be ready and he might miss the first 4 games of the year. And I usually just don't like drafting guys off a bad knee injury. So I mean, there's a legit chance that he's useless half the year, and maybe by week 10, 11, 12 he's getting somewhere. But he wasn't any good last year before he got injured too. He was very, very frustrating. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for either Pearsall or Jennings. It's basically whoever's going to stay healthy, I think, is just going to be the de facto wide receiver one and get those 8-9 targets.
Well, you got Pearsall and Ayuk with injuries, and then Jennings wants a new contract.
Yeah, it's literally everyone is just being an asshole over there.
Kittle is your answer, and
that's why Kittle. I'm starting to come around to McCaffrey, man, especially round 2. If he stays healthy, and maybe they limit his workload a little bit, and they mix in Garendo and whoever else they got to just take a little bit off his body, I think there's room there. And Matt just has to play. Yeah. At that point, you gotta swallow the gravy here.
I wanted to do Jalen Higgins actually because I just watched so many highlights on it recently.
Okay.
So, but I had to do the stack.
Our guy Harris is saying Chris Godwin was a steal back there in round 6. I'm not sure how I feel about the Buccaneers. Like, John was the resident of Tampa Bay. He was the mayor of Tampa Bay last year. How are you navigating the Baker Mayfield waters over there in the Bay?
Yeah, well, I mean, everything is really exciting again this year, and for Baker specifically, I think Mike Evans continues to be one of the better, reasonably valuable receivers that you don't have to draft in round 1 or round 2. I think Godwin, a couple weeks ago, you could get him in round 8, round 9, and I was gobbling him up. Now, little less interested because if there are legitimate questions about his health. I think he's going to be ready to play, and he's going to play week 1, but is he going to be Chris Godwin week 1? That's a question that we need to see to be answered. Damn, I was hoping Higgins would fall to me there.
And the injuries are starting to pile up for Godwin a little bit, where I'm a little concerned. Like
I'm very concerned about Godwin.
I definitely don't feel great about my Godwin dynasty since he's on the wrong side of 30. You grab here. It's lining up well for me to get my first stack here with Robert Purdy, whether it's with Kittle or Peterson built in stack. So we're going to do that. I'm a huge Mark Andrews guy, especially in best ball, because he catches touchdowns. So I'm very intrigued there. I'm going to grab Brock Purdy first. But the running backs, man, J.K. Dobbins, I'm not sure how you guys feel about Dobbins. Tracy, Scatabo, the Giants' backfield are still up for grabs here. There's a lot of interesting backs on the field right now. But I'm gonna try something here that I usually take Mark Andrews here all day. But I'm gonna continue to build up my wide receiver room with a rookie that I didn't get a single dynasty share of, and I think it's gonna haunt me. It's Trey Harris.
You had a chance.
Why are you so Mark Andrews heavy?
He's if you remove the first 4 games of the year last year when he was still kind of getting his feet underneath him after his injury in 2023, he was catching a touchdown every week. He was just involved, and he doesn't have – he's not going to be getting those 130, 140 targets like he was, 2-3 years ago. But give me those 4 or 5 catches a week. Give me that 50 to 70 yards, and honestly, probably like a 50 to 60% chance at a touchdown every week. He's still fully involved in this offense, and I think round 10, if Mark Andrews catches 11 touchdowns this year, would you be surprised?
No, not at all.
Not at all. I still think he's gonna catch his 60 to 70 passes.
He did finish strong this year. I think he just got a bad rep in everyone's mind because he dropped that game-winning catch.
That, and then there's the rumor of, maybe he's not on the Ravens in 2026, but I don't give a shit about 2026. I'm drafting 2025 baseball,
Right, sure.
So for you to get a mini stack here with Bateman and Mark, so that's another layer that I like about best ball is even you don't have Lamar Jackson. You don't need Lamar Jackson. You're probably catching a touchdown every week from Bateman or Mark Andrews, pretty much almost every week.
Thank you.
And then Matt collects probably the best deal on the board here for quarterback in Dak Prescott.
I didn't think he was going to make it back to me, actually, but I'll take him.
I don't like God, Matt.
I don't like sticking up for Dak Prescott, but I keep coming back to these 2023 numbers where he
was legit.
I mean, he was in the MVP race this season. He threw for 4,500 yards, 36 touchdowns. He was running the ball just enough to get you some points here. I actually thought this was probably the best Dak Prescott we saw in 2023. And now you're adding George Pickens to this, and they continue to just ignore the running back position. We're going to bring in Javonte Williams and Jaden Blue and Miles Sanders and just say, let's go, Dak. We're going to throw the ball 650 times this year.
I do need another RB right now, probably. I only got 2. Now it's like, I have no idea who to pick here.
Najee Harris, man.
I don't know.
Baby, you're a firework.
Zero Scatterbo shares.
That's brutal, Kyle. That's brutal.
Are you guys up with the Najee Harris news?
I did hear about that, yeah.
Yeah, he basically almost blew off his eye in a firework incident. He's on the camp PUP list to start the season. I think I'm just aggressively targeting Amari and Hampton as much as possible right now because I don't like Najee Harris. I don't think he's any good. And now that he's got a bum eye, it just makes me even want Amari and Hampton even more.
Yeah.
I got him.
Can you go back to that Cowboy stats? I think I looked at this last year. Like
yeah.
Every other year, the Cowboys pop. And then like the next year they have a down year. Then the next year they have an amazing year. And then the next year they down. Like if you go back like every 2 years, that's like amazing.
I'm going to be up to pick shortly so we can look at that after. And then, hey, we got Jesse, the fellow JGM here, saying Chris Godwin is a full fade with that bum leg. So good evening to Jesse. Hope you're doing well, my man. Thanks for hanging out with us on this lovely Monday evening. We got John Bon Jovi here, and then I'm up to pick.
Oh, I'm struggling with this one.
I'm waiting for this Quinshon Judkins suspension to hit. I think he could be slapped with a 2 to 4 game suspension. You grab Cedric Tillman, who I think is the clear number 2 target for receivers in Cleveland. I do like that pick quite a bit. The running backs have completely gone to shit.
You got to scroll.
Completely dried up. Holy smokes, this is bad. I'm drafting reliable Christian Kirk. I think he could be decent with CJ Stroud this season. Oh my God, it's so bad. We're gonna do a little Chicago Bear thing, just like John did with his Bateman Mark Andrews. I'm gonna go Colston Loveland to pair with Romo Dunze and go fishing for some points there in Chicago's receiving game. But Matt,
is there any negative to taking Likely and Andrews? I mean, it just seems like such a.
I think in this format it's fine. I think in a DraftKings or underdog format, I probably wouldn't do that. But you're essentially locking in 10 to 12 points at the tight end position every week with those two.
I'm just going by. I'm going week 7 bye week either way. Damn it.
Matt, I wouldn't do it personally, John.
Matt, you wanted me to pull up the Cowboys or Dak Prescott?
Probably Dak, or you could do the Cowboys too, I guess. But I think it was every other year they pop off.
Yeah, I mean, look at 2023, 4,500 yards. 2021, 4,500 yards. 2019. So we're on a every other year streak for the last 6
That's
seasons.
Actually kind of crazy.
Well, hopefully it continues this year. We'll see.
And Jerry Jones was just talking shit about Dak and talking about how he gave him a big ass contract and now he's missing all these games.
Dude, they might be the NFC version of the Cincinnati Bengals, where it's all throwing the ball. They have Parsons and a couple defenders, but they just might have to throw the ball 40 times a game.
I would love that, actually.
Yeah, this team you're building would love that for sure. Oh, you have Pickens too. Yeah, nice work, Matt.
Yeah, I reached out on that round, and now I'm on hardcore stacking for this team. The team that did well last year, I think I only had
do you take Jaden Blue here then, Matt? If he falls,
I was gonna go Hollywood Brown just so I can keep stacking with Pat Mahomes.
That's probably a good idea there.
I can just throw darts running back later.
The fellow JGM is asking how we doing tonight, lads. I think we're all doing fantastic. I asked my group chat this morning, do you guys feel it? It's starting to feel like football season is right around the corner.
Once we did our dynasty draft, I was like, all right, I'm ready. I can't wait.
For me, I think it was last week. I don't know if it was Thursday or Friday morning, but I woke up and just it was like a fall morning. It was just cool and light, and it just felt like, oh shit, summer is almost done.
It definitely August 1st is kind of my.
We got preseason football probably in 2 weeks, so we're entering the good part of the season. It's probably the best. My favorite is just that transition from August into September, just with the weather and just moving towards football mind. But we got a lot of junk here in the 12th round. Running backs are starting to go off the board. How are you guys handling the Cleveland backfield with Quinshon Judkins and his domestic violence situation? Dylan Sampson went right after him here, and then I think no one's really talking about Jerome Ford catching passes for the Browns.
I have no idea what to think about the Browns, man. I think actually Sampson could be a steal, though, especially with all the Quinshon stuff going on.
I think Sampson, if say we're drafting in the OG Fellowship, I want Sampson on my team.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very high on Sampson right now.
And then, so Jaden Blue had some really bad reports come out maybe this last week, just about being lazy and the coaching staff kind of being like, come on, man, we need to see some stuff out of you. So he's starting to fall. I think when I do every week or so, I'll update the ADP on my website. And just a week ago, Jaden Blue was going ahead of Javonte Williams, who went earlier in the 11th round. And now you're starting to see Jaden Blue fall. You're seeing Javonte Williams rise, and then Miles Sanders even start to rise here. So I think those Denver, Dallas, Cleveland, in Jacksonville, just some really interesting backfields because there's multiple guys, and I just don't know how it's going to shake out.
Had to go Trey Benson. I think he's got the highest upside of backups right now.
He's one of the best. I think he's kind of like a discount Charbonnet, if you think about it, where we know he's good. We like the sample that we saw last year, and it's James Conner. We're good for 3 games missing this year. But I had a question in mind here. What was I going to say? What are you guys doing with the Jags, the Jacksonville Jaguars backfield? That's such a mess.
I'm kind of off the Jaguar train this year completely this year. I know you guys have different feelings about that.
The backfield, I kind of like the tank, but I'm not reaching for anybody.
I think tank is good in best ball. You're going to hate tank in redraft. And the damn it, that was a good pick there, John.
Yeah, no shit, brother. That's what I do. It's that time of year, baby.
Time to start sniping.
Well, I'm gonna grab Tua here, and
Tua.
It's gonna complete a little Tua Devon Achane stack because Achane's catching 90 balls this year. So I got their wide receiver 2.
How many did he catch last year?
Probably 86 or 87 passes last year. Okay. I'm kind of into Quentin Johnston here, and I think I'm done at receiver after I take him, but I think I solved my wide receiver issues by waiting. I have Trey Harris with Quentin Johnston, and then just a bunch of other familiar names here. And then John grabs Wan'Dale Robinson, the short yard king.
Love
for
that guy.
For ADP, I think QJ is good there, but I think he's got one more year left, and then he might turn into Jalen Reagor. Like, he just can't catch.
I like Wan'Dale. I almost took Wan'Dale instead of Cedric Tillman 3 rounds ago.
Oh, dang.
I don't want to bring up Devontae Adams, but sometimes it takes guys a little bit of a time to get acclimated into the offense and to learn the game. Everyone had Quentin Johnston dead in the water after rookie year, but he showed signs of life last year. So if he takes another step, like at worst case, Matt, I get maybe what I get last year, which was fine. I thought last year was a positive step for him. But if I get another potential step out of Quentin, what if Quentin Johnston is better than Trey Harris? You know, we don't know.
I don't think that'll be the case. Hang on, right now.
I'll have to send you the Twitter highlights that I saw today, and then we'll change your mind.
I feel like Quentin Johnston, you mentioned Quentin Johnston had good moments last year. I mean, what competition outside of Ladd did he have at all? You know, there was so little receiving talent on that team last year. They were kind of in a offensive rebuilding season, to be fair to them, but the receiving talent was so low on that team. Like, you almost, like, I guess where I'm going with that is I think I'm actually off of him because he had just moments last year instead of, like, really standing out, because who the fuck was he competing with? Excuse my language.
No, that's totally fair. But I think it's also the style of offense that they're playing over there. But the Chargers really changed how they played football throughout the year. They were run heavy. They wanted to run the ball, and they didn't have enough guys to run the ball. They had J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. They really couldn't run the ball effectively, so they had to shift their offense to more of a passing style. So I do think there's room for at least 2 receivers to pop off every week. It's probably going to be Ladd most of the time, but they're not going to give up on Quentin Johnston yet. I think in year 3, a former first-round pick, they're going to give him as much opportunity as he can this year, and if he fails, he fails. And then if he does fail, they brought in Trey Harris, so they kind of covered their bet with him.
Who was the guy for the Chiefs that had who got cut? Patrick Mahomes threw the perfect pass, went off his fingertips, dropped it, and was intercepted.
Kadarius Toney?
Yes. I watched quite a few Chargers games last year. He had the exact same thing, just multiple times, and people just don't really watch Chargers games. Like, there are a few games where he catches them, and he's actually amazing, but, like, it's like more often than not, he's dropping the easiest passes in the world. I was like, you can't be dropping easy passes. So,
Well, we watch a lot of Packers games, so we know about those.
You know what? That's kind of who it reminds me of. Is actually Christian Watson. I hate to say it. Sometimes he just drops easy passes, and you're like, how?
But hey, he's my wide receiver 8. I will take the 3 or 4 touchdowns that he gets this year as my worst receiver. I'm going to have to pivot towards running back here pretty soon because I only have 2 and we're in round 15. So we'll figure it out. Matt Behm goes Kyle Williams, who's a guy that I think I'm pretty excited about for Dynasty. I think he could be a nice player for Drake May. I don't think he's ever going to be like a legit, like a number 1 guy, but I think he's going to be maybe like a Darnell Mooney type number 2, number 3 receiver that just sticks around and probably collects another contract somewhere in a few years.
So last year, on the team that did well, I just like hit all rookies on the back half of the draft, and eventually one got lucky. Brian Thomas Jr. Bam, top. That's all you need is just get lucky on one rookie receiver.
BTJ wasn't cheap last year either. He was probably like an 8th or 9th round pick.
Was he that early? I thought I got him much later. Maybe it was an earlier draft.
So one of the reasons why I kind of like the Trey Harris with Quentin Johnston pairing is I think one of those guys is going to work out for them. And there's a chance. What if Quentin Johnston is actually okay, and what if Trey Harris is actually like? What if I have an opportunity to score a Chargers receiver every week? Mike Williams retired. You guys see that?
I did see that. Yep.
So we'll pour one out for old Mike Williams. I'll remember the good times we had.
Oh, bitch. I was going to take freaking Strange. Shoot.
Yeah, the sniper got sniped.
RBs. So we're going to have to throw in Justice Hill onto this mess.
Oh, my gosh.
Nick
let him cook.
Remember last year when we were doing this, you were drinking and you picked Nick Chubb on accident, I think?
I think I got autoed. Yeah, I think it glitched. I don't know what happened there, but I do remember. Oh, Miles Sanders, are you my answer? Holy smokes, guys.
That's tough, yeah. Slim Pickens now.
At this point, I just got to keep taking running backs. I have Genty and Achane, which if those two and this is kind of how I like to draft these because, like, if Genty or Achane get hurt, my team's effed anyways. So I'm drafting with this in mind that Genty's a top 3 back, Achane's a top 3 back. Something breaks right for these guys, and they're just dominant, and that's what's going to lead this team, and I don't even really need my backup running backs. So I do think drafting with a little bit of risk in this format pays off, whereas like if you're trying to be like balanced and just play for par, you're going to win $20. And John goes with he's stacking Giants receivers down here with Wan'Dale Robinson.
Oh my.
And Rusty Wilson and Jackson Dart. Interesting. So you're done at QB, huh? You got Giants QB and Burrow. We're going to call it a day at QB?
We'll see.
Oh, the 4 QB strat. Let's go.
All right, Matthew. It's just good to see you, man. I hope you are enjoying your summer. But if you could just look around here, you're going to be able to pick here. What are some names and some players and positions that you think are going to be worthwhile picks this late? Josh Palmer was one of them for me. He just went.
He was one guy I was eyeing up. I was Alec Pierce as well, actually.
Yeah.
I don't really know for anyone else. This ADP has changed quite a bit since I last drafted here, so I'm pondering right now.
I think Jonnu Smith's a good value here at tight end, but you're pretty good at tight end. I think he's going to be a guy that's better in best ball for sure. And Alec Pierce goes.
Damn. I saw some hype about Diami Brown right now, but I don't know.
I like Diami in Jacksonville stacks. I'm actually pretty like Jacksonville's probably my most owned team among best balls because I think their defense is not going to be good. They're going to have to throw the ball, and I have no clarity on the running backs. The clarity that I do have is Trevor Lawrence throwing to Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, Diami Brown, and Brenton Strange. So I'm attacking that part of the Jacksonville Jags. The running backs are a complete mess. I couldn't tell you what to do there because I think there's 4 backs that could be touching the ball in 2025, but I think Jags are probably a 6-win team, and we've seen Liam Cohen, their head coach, do some pretty magical things the last few years with different quarterbacks. I think it's going to be a nice passing attack, even though they're losing games.
I really like Dynamic Brown.
He had some big moments last year with Jaden Daniels, man. I think he could probably pop off for 5 or 6 touchdowns this year and make some big 20-point games.
He's a scoring bunches guy. He's a best ball guy.
So Matt mentioned he liked Alec Pierce here. So I'm curious what you're thinking about the Colts, because I absolutely love Josh Downs as a receiver, especially if Daniel Jones is going to open the season and start 8 to 10 games. He's going to pummel the hell out of Josh Downs with some targets. Matt's on the clock here. You just want to take Keenan Allen call today?
I should. Nah. I want another RB here. I can't decide on Jarquez Hunter.
Dude, handcuff your Packer.
Don't tell him what to do, John.
No, he's going to get hurt again.
He doesn't listen to me anyway, Kyle. Jeez.
I'm just having fun.
I like taking big swings here. I
need my one Burrow stack. I need Yoshi. I need Yoshi.
And oh my goodness, we got 21 people here in the live stream tonight. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us on a Monday evening. You guys are freaks watching a bunch of dudes just draft teams on a Monday night in July. So I appreciate you. Don't forget to like the video if you guys are hanging out with us. That helps people know that this is a good video and channel to watch. So, John.
And stay till the end, everybody, because I'm going to do something wild in round 20 that nobody has ever seen in the history of best ball.
We're taking our shirts off?
Not even close. So much better than that.
So
much better than my drooping nipples.
I just backdoored the lethal handcuff stack of Justice Hill and Keaton Mitchell, boys. That big dog goes down. We're cooking with gas, dudes.
Congrats.
The big dog goes down.
The only reason I kept him in Dynasty is
it is absolutely done. I'm going to let this running back gumbo just chill for a little bit. I do think Taj Brooks is interesting, Matt. I don't know if you know anything or been looking at stuff with him, but I think he's an interesting guy.
He's interesting.
We're gonna finish our tight ends with this elite Miami Dolphins stack: Tua, Devon Achane, and Darren Waller.
I don't like that.
It's round 18, dude. We don't like anything.
I know.
If Darren Waller scores 3 touchdowns for me, cool.
God, we're doing some gross things tonight.
Speaking of gross, Noah Fant was released from the Seattle Seahawks yesterday. I don't know if you all saw that. So that leaves them with A.J. Barner, who they drafted last year out of Michigan, and then they go and get Elijah Arroyo. And, that's a nice Rondé Gadsden pull there from the Chargers there in the 10 hole. But what are we doing with the Seahawks receivers? We didn't really care about Fant, but what if I told you A.J. Barner caught 30 passes and 4 touchdowns last year as the number 2 tight end?
I was
pretty good. Pretty good numbers from a number 2 tight end. I don't think he's an elite playmaker opportunity kind of guy. He's like a really nice Will Dissly type receiver tight end who's going to be doing your dirty work. But Seattle tight end 1 is totally up for grabs. I think we're going to see Barner and Arroyo start to move up boards here. Arroyo's at 219 ADP, and Barner's nowhere to be found on this list.
Taking it just because of you right now.
Arroyo's exciting, man. He's super athletic. He played at Miami. He had a really nice season last year. It might take him a little bit of time to completely overtake that job. I think it's for sure going to be a committee to start the year. But I mean, after JSN, man, we're talking the ghost of Cooper Kupp, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Jake Bobo. They drafted some late receivers here. So I do think you could potentially be grabbing like the number 3 target if you draft a Seattle tight end.
I still think Seattle will be viable. I don't think the ghost of Cooper Kupp will hit just yet. I think he'll still be pretty good this year. Maybe one more good year.
I'm nervous about it. I don't really take a lot of Cooper Kupp right now unless I'm building out something Seattle. I think Kupp's going to be – so for me, Matt, I think Kupp's a redraft pick, not so much a best ball pick. Does that make sense?
Yep, that's fair.
Where I'm going to collect my 5-6 catches per game. I don't think there's going to be a lot of we're not going to get those 25, 30-point games out of Kupp anymore. Maybe 1 or 2 this year. But yeah, I can't really quite figure out Seattle, man. I think JSN's going to be good. I have trouble figuring because I like Charbonnet, but I think Kenneth Walker is still a pretty good back. He just doesn't stay healthy. I don't know if Seattle is serious. Are they a contender or pretender? I just don't know how to handle Seattle.
I have a friend who's a Seahawks fan, and every year I think like this is the year they're going to be terrible, but somehow they always stay viable, competitive.
Yeah, they're going to be around 500. They're going to win 8, 9, 10 games.
I think they actually might be. If Sam Darnold can repeat what he did last year, they could be sneaky good.
Well, here's a question: who wins the? I was talking with Jesse Drake, Jake, and Corey earlier. Who the hell wins the NFC West? You got the Rams. Looking good with Devontae Adams there. They got some playmakers on both sides of the ball. I also think San Fran, if everyone does their thing, like they could be a big bounce back team. Who knows what's going on with Seattle? And then I think the Cardinals, no one's going to pick them to win, but I think they're going to be competitive.
God, someone stole my stack again.
Theo, I like Theo. I think Theo is one of those sleeper. Theo and Jatavian are those sleeper tight ends that I like this late. But go ahead.
I feel like that division could be like almost the same as last year. It's just going to be up for almost anybody. The Cardinals could look good for a while, and they'll fall apart at the end.
I personally can't believe the Cardinals did not address the wide receiver position in free agency or the draft. They're in the pack with Marvin and Michael Wilson and Greg Dortch and shit. Pretty bad fumble, I think, from the Cardinals in the draft. But oh my goodness, these are the final 2 picks for me, and you guys gave me the most elusive stack in the business here. We're gonna go Tyler Shuck.
Elusive stack.
Yeah, you guys know. You guys familiar with semi-pro?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. So if I say take off your shoes and shuck me sexy, you guys know what I'm putting down?
Yes.
Last pick here. We're going to continue to build out this nasty, nasty Saints thing here. I'm a sucker for Kendre Miller, man. I think he's still got a chance if he stays healthy. We'll see what old Kendre Miller does.
How many people in the chat right now, Kyle? How many people stayed for what I'm going to give you?
We're taking shirts off?
No. How many people are right now?
There's 22 people live in here right now.
Everybody, this is the most amazing thing you will ever see in best ball history. I am completing the trifecta of Giants quarterbacks.
No! Oh no!
The 4 QB strat.
Oh my goodness!
It wasn't intentional. I didn't want 4 QBs. You never do, but I don't have any faith in Russell Wilson, and I'm not sure what's going to happen.
When you have 4 QBs, do you really even have 4? I think you have 2. You have Joe Burrow,
the Giants QB, and Joe Burrow.
QB 1.
So you took 3 picks for 2 QBs. You just forfeited your last 3 picks, basically.
So Matt,
I guaranteed the starting Giants quarterback every week.
Guaranteed 9 points. Yes.
And my guy Scott, we'll have to look at Scott's team here. Shout out to Scott. He was drafting. He was in the 10 spot with us, John. He was sneaky. He didn't say a word until the end. But he says he just drafted the Patriots RB1 in round 20. Interesting.
Real G's move in silence.
Matt, take it away. Final pick of the day.
Yeah, I'm just going to go scroll down and see who I like here. Jermaine Merton? No.
Is he out of prison yet?
I know. I'm going here. Dude, I'm all in on Washington right now.
I think Washington's a fun team. I still think Zach Ertz is probably the best priced tight end on the damn board, but that could just be me. But oh my goodness, we just completed a $20 fast drafters contest. Matt, we're going to look at your team here, and you give us the elevator pitch as to why this team's going to win the whatever. Is it $500,000? What's the contest payout for this sucker? Something like that. But take it away. Tell us how this team wins it all.
I only took Patrick Mahomes because everyone else on the board there was terrible, and I was just like, I just wanted like a top 5 potential, so I just took him. Dak fell. I had 0 Josh Jacobs shares. I would have gone Breece Hall. But I'm trying to just do the same strat that I did last year, is just get 1 really good RB, 2 or 3 really stud wide receivers, and everyone else is just darts that can be top 5 or top 20. And I got a top tight end 1 too. But and Travis. I don't know if Travis Kelce's going to produce this year. That's the one pick I really did not like. But
What are you doing week 10 for quarterback there, guy?
looks like So that's something I actually don't pay attention to. I think that happened to me last year. Last year I had Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield. They're the same week. I had no QB for 1 week. It didn't even matter. But
I don't think it matters all that much. I do think it matters a little bit more to make sure that doesn't happen in drafters, just because a zero is going to hurt you, man. But I like this team. It's well balanced. If you get a top 5 season out of like, he only caught like 2 touchdowns last year, I think, maybe 3. If he reverts back to his normal 6-7 touchdowns, like, you might be flexing Bowers or Kelce a lot this year. You're well stacked. I have no issues, but you know what you did with the quarterback situation. But I
You
like
have all week 8 buys at running back, all week 10 buys at quarterback.
but
You don't have any. Your week 8 is really brutal, actually.
Scatterbo might be the guy by week 8. He might be the guy by week 1. We don't know yet.
Hey, I'm all in on the Giants, baby.
Let's take a look here at our guy Scott's team here, who drafted in the 10th spot. His name's Scott Sharp, and Scott's a sharp guy. He's been a longtime listener of the show. I always like to hear what he has to say, and we like to go back and forth with things. He's got a running fetish here with Jaden Daniels, Justin Fields, Cam Ward. I like this trio quite a bit. He's getting some big points here every week. The running backs are Breece Hall. He took Caleb Johnson, who I know I poo-pooed earlier, but I think Scott probably built a running back room here that can handle Caleb Johnson and get those weeks in here, because he's going to mix in Tyrone Tracy, Javonte Williams. I think he's got one of these 3 guys starting for him every week at RB2. Rashad White can still catch passes. I think Rashard Smith. I'm going to have to go look up who Lan Larson is.
I don't know who it is either. I have no idea.
But, Scott, you gave me some good work to do. We're going to go look up Lan Larson. Maybe we'll watch some highlights on the stream here. But the receivers, receivers and Garrett Wilson stacked with Jay Fields, Ridley, Ibuka, Higgins, Demario Douglas, and Xavier Legette. And we kind of punted at tight end here, but I'm a big Brenton Strange fan. I don't think you're going to find someone more interested in Brenton Strange than me.
He sniped me hard with Higgins and with Strange. Yeah, I really wanted both of those guys.
He did grab a couple rookie tight ends here, which could be interesting. So he kind of built a really fun a little bit quarterback-heavy team. I think he's got a lot of competition at RB2. I think he's got enough at wide receiver. And if he can get any of these rookies, Ibuka or Higgins, to really take off, I think he could be cooking here. So good job, Mr. Sharp there. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. And we got to get some more drafts in with Scott one of these days. But John, tell us how this team wins the $500,000.
Well, first off, the Giants quarterback needs to be useful, specifically week 10. But I definitely like my quarterback situation. I'm very, very high on Joe Burrow. I think he's got a really good chance at QB1 in fantasy this year. I think this is one of the better running back rooms I've constructed without going running back in the first 2 rounds. Really excited about Hampton. You talked about, some of his competition. Najee specifically is way more of an unknown now than he was even a week ago. I love the Kieran Williams, Blake Corum stack. I don't really love Kieran Williams, but like the fact that you can always get Blake Corum at the end of the draft is so enticing to me. I'm pretty interested in DeAndre Swift this year. I'm pretty interested in Pacheco this year, and I've got this weird bug up my ass about Eckler. So this is like almost my dream running back room, honestly. Receiver, I did not get enough, but that's just kind of the nature of the beast when you take 4 QBs and 3 tight ends. But while I did not take enough, I feel like there's some it's a group that if they can stay semi-healthy, they can punch up pretty good. I really like all of them quite a bit. Bateman, Tillman, Wandell, Yosh. I need like 2 of those guys to be useful kind of every week, but I, in a weird way, feel like that actually is semi-realistic. Obviously, I'm probably a little biased because it's my team, but I feel like I actually can get good value out of the bottom guys there. And hopefully they all stay healthy. And then I'm really high on Dalton Kincaid. Wasn't super, I hate the bye week situation I ran into there. There was like all the tight ends I wanted in the back half were all week 7 somehow. But Kyle, you kind of talked me into Mark Andrews, but he's a guy I've owned in Dynasty. He's a guy I've owned in Redraft. I really like him in general. So I'm very excited about that. Kincaid, last year I thought Kincaid had a great chance to be the tight end 1 in fantasy. I wonder if I was maybe a year early. I don't know if he actually ever has that kind of juice in him, but I definitely expect like a top 8, maybe even a top 6 season from him. And then, even though Schultz is not a guy I really like that much, I like the week 6 bye week. I feel very confident that he's going to be playing week 7 when I need a tight end to play. So, overall, not my best draft. The quarterback situation was not exactly well executed, but it's just vibes over here. Just fucking vibes.
The law firm, the tight end law firm of Dalton, Mark, and Dalton. I like it.
The double Dalton is always a good thing.
You got ADP values on all 3 of your tight ends, and I do think the community is kind of fed up with Dalton Kincaid. But one of these years, man, like the talent's gonna come through, and they really don't have shit at receiver. Like Khalil Shakir,
I love the price.
Like Khalil Shakir, yeah, he's a good slot receiver. He's going to catch 80 balls this year. But after that, they need someone to emerge. And I think Dalton Kincaid could be that year 3 breakout. But he's 1 year away from being Kyle Pitts next year. So
I really like Shakir, but are we actually sure Shakir is a good football player? Like, are you willing to say, you say I'll catch 80 balls this year, but like, are you sure? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not overall, I'm agreeing with you that receiver room is weak.
I have a couple rules with Shakir. Especially in this format, I don't want Shakir because he's not going to get 20 points a lot of games. He's going to get me 6 for 70. Give me those 13. Give me redraft Khalil Shakir. I like that as my wide receiver 3 flex. I'll take Shakir in this format if I have Josh Allen going. That's really my only Shakir opportunities, I think, for best ball. Yeah, someone needs to step up there in Buffalo. I think Josh Palmer can be that number 2 guy, but I think there's a chance Dalton Kincaid catches 60, 70 passes this year. And he just needs to run hot on touchdowns. If he gets 7, 8 touchdowns, I think we're cooking with gas. But anyways, my team, we waited on QB, which is something I often do. We got ADP values on all 3 quarterbacks. We got Brock Purdy, who we don't know who he's throwing the ball to, but we know he's doing stuff. Tua Tagovailoa, as long as he can read and stay healthy and stuff, like we're gonna be liking the numbers there. And then Tyler Shuck, man, probably the cheapest QB1. Who I think is going to start the majority of the season. Saints are going to win 4 or 5 games this year, but we're going to see Tyler Shuck start the majority of them. So I'll take him as my QB3. We got Genty and Achane, and then it falls off a cliff here. So we're going all in on these 2 guys staying healthy and finishing as top 5 backs. At worst, Genty's top 10. I think with Achane's profile, any week that he's healthy and he's catching passes, he's got top 5 upside at the position. It's just going to matter with Genty if he scores touchdowns there and how much is he involved as a receiver. We're going to find out. We have the backups, Justice Hill and Keaton Mitchell, in case the big dog goes down. Justice Hill is still going to have those games where he catches 5 passes for 42 yards and a touchdown. I'll take that 3 times a year. Bless you, John. And then Kendre Miller there. We just can't quit you, buddy. We're going to hope that you stay healthy and maybe the new coaching staff can figure you out. 0 wide receiver. I think we did okay. We got McLaurin, Olave, and don't get me wrong, these guys all have questions. They have questions. But I only need to start 3 of these mofos. So maybe we end up starting 4 just with our lack of running back depth. But I'm excited about Olave being the best receiver on his team that's going to have to throw the ball a ton. I think Terry McLaurin's still going to be fine once he gets his contract extension. Odunze is the one guy that I think could really separate himself here and be one of the better picks for me. Or it could be one of the worst picks if he doesn't take that step. Same thing with Ricky Pearsall. I think Matthew Golden's a big best ball guy. Probably don't like Matthew Golden as much in a redraft setting, but in a best ball, give me that every other week where he can go off. And then we got some guys here, Trey Harris, Kirk, and Quentin Johnston. Tight end room looks really good. I think Kittle, Loveland, and Waller is a fine trio. I got some eliteness with Kittle. I have some upside with Loveland. I got something old there with Waller.
I just remember Waller's last year was rough, and
It was the Giants. He didn't give a shit. He did not.
Wow, did he even play?
He didn't give a shit.
He did not play last year, so his
how many-
last year was multiple years ago.
Yeah,
2023.
The year before the Giants, even I think he started the struggles. I don't know.
So
But it is the Dolphins.
you mentioned one thing about Matthew Golden. I think that applies to all Packer receivers, kind of,
Yes.
right? They're all kind of fun for best ball, and they're all super scary for redraft because they're all going to probably have great games. But tell me when, tell me when Jaden Reed's going to pop off. Tell me when Golden's going to pop off, et cetera, et cetera.
I'm kind of nervous about Tucker Kraft too. I think he could get lost in a redraft where he can have those games where he catches 2 or 3 passes. I do want to see him more involved, but I think it all stems to Jordan Love for the Packers, and he's probably one of the most fun players to stack quarterback because you have so many outs at the running back and receiver and tight end position with the Packers. But Darren Waller, tight end 22 back in 2023.
Yeah.
But hey,
in a 2 tight end league,
look at this. I
wanted to say one last thing about your team, Kyle. I was really, really hoping to get George Kittle. I was almost Pickens, but I was really hoping to get George Kittle at the beginning of the 4th.
Yeah.
And I think the Purdy Kittle stack that you have might be kind of one of those sneaky, you might be very, very happy if you come away with that stack in any format in any draft.
I thought Purdy was fantastic last year. If you just factor in no McCaffrey and losing Ayuk, and just it seemed like everything that could go wrong for the 49ers did go wrong last year. And Purdy's got some really sneaky rushing upside too. I think he's a really interesting, especially if you play Superflex. I think he could be a fun QB target for you as your QB2 needs. But we got Scott's talking about Land Larson there. We all have to look up Land Larson after
We
this.
should do it right now. Put on the highlight video.
So,
YouTube might not like it. I might get demonetized on this, but Land Larson YouTube.
Let's all watch Land Larson videos on our own and then react to them while we're on video.
So he's out of UC Davis. Let me turn the volume off. And
he's not even in the draft. According to Scott, he's not even in the DraftKings player.
Oh, man.
So that happened to me last year because
this is incredible, Scott.
And Tyrone Tracy was not draftable until May.
Oh, wow. That's a big miss because he was amazing.
Okay, we got a lighter built back here. He's kind of built like a wide receiver, it looks like. Oh, and he takes Wildcat, man.
Ty Montgomery vibes, kind of.
Anytime you can take a white running back in the 20th round, I think you kind of have to. So we're gonna see this guy, I think, a lot in preseason. I think we'll get a good idea of what's going on. So this could be. What are you doing? Yeah, we're live right now. We're watching Land Larson highlights here, the potential league-winning running back out of UC Davis.
You gave us.
He looks like Matt. Who was that Cincinnati back? The white running back in the day, catching passes. He was a third down back.
How long
B,
ago?
last name with a B, I want to say. No,
Giovanni Bernard, but
no, he was white though.
Yeah, before Gio.
That's
Burkhead? No.
Matt, I'm thinking of someone along the Rex Burkhead lines.
I don't know. He was more of a runner.
Danny Woodhead? No.
It's this Land Larson does give you kind of Danny Woodhead vibes though.
Who am I
can
thinking?
remember white running backs for the Bengals, to be honest.
Well, that's like
I'm on it. I'm on the case here. We're gonna find this guy.
Burkhead did play there, it looks like.
I remember Burkhead playing there.
So maybe it was him.
Was it Burkhead though?
It's gotta be, because I'm just going through their entire list, all Bengals running backs.
I'm back in the 2021 days right now. I'm not seeing what I'm thinking of.
That's all right. The Land Larson highlights were amazing.
It's a treat. We're just gonna let him run. We're just gonna let it run, man. This is a joy. While we find
Brian Leonard.
this white running back for the Cincinnati Bengals. I think he was before Gio Bernard's time.
I remember before him was like Jeremy Hill.
Oh, I liked Jeremy Hill back in the day. He was a fun running back before the injuries.
And the fumble in the playoff game.
I think it was Rex Burkhead, man.
I think it was. He's like the only one that comes to mind.
It had to be. Burkhead had some nice seasons with them. We'll leave it at that. I'm pretty sure it was Mr. Sexy Rexy. But Land Larson there, folks. Thank you, Scott, for putting us on. Someone to put on our preseason watch, man. We're gonna watch some preseason games, and we're gonna remember this. And yeah, he's got ball skills, and maybe he has to earn some special team stuff to get on the field and things like that. But he might be a guy that the Patriots make use out of. So there you go, folks. But anyways, any final thoughts for the good people, Matt? We had a lot of fun tonight. Hopefully, we can get another one of these done maybe soon, and then I know for sure we're going to do some auction drafts in the coming weeks.
Yes, sir. I was wondering what some of your hottest takes are. I'm starting to ponder a bit more, and my gut's telling me Washington's going to be ultra good this year again. Would not be shocked if they make it back to the championship game.
I'm trying not to be a Packer fan.
So are you a Bears fan now? You drafted 2 Bears.
I'm worried about Detroit. I don't know if Detroit – I think it's very easy to see Detroit taking a step back. It's just a matter of how far. We got new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. They got a lot of moving parts right now. I don't think they got better on offense unless they're just banking on their players like Jamison Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs taking the next step. I do think the whole entire NFC North got better. So I'm a little bit nervous about Lions guys, but I still draft a shit ton of Gibbs, Monty, Jamison. I don't take a lot of Amon-Ra. To me, it's the Cowboys passing game. I think Lamb, Dak, Pickens.
They're going to be the Bengals like last year, just putting up points like crazy.
When I said that they might be the NFC version of Cincinnati, I think it's in the data, dude. Every other year, they're going to get a healthy Dak season, and he's going to be a top 5 QB. So I'm very interested in Dallas. I don't know if I have any other hot takes right now. We talked about some of the backfields that I just have no faith in.
My other one is Trevor Lawrence. This is like a make or break year for him, I feel like. Like he's
Yeah.
Was it 2 or 3 years ago? He was like really, really good. Like it was like wow. And then he had an injury.
He got the contract. He's been through a lot of shit in Jacksonville. He's been through a lot of shit, and I think they're one draft away from maybe being a potential leader in the AFC South. I think they just need more players on the defensive side of the ball, offensive line. But they're going to throw the shit out of the ball this year. So I think for fantasy, he's going to be fine. Real life, I think there's still going to be a lot of doubters and questions on how he plays.
That's fair. I guess it's kind of just like Kyler. It's like he's good, but it's like, is he going to like take the next step? Is he going to be elite? I don't know.
That's a good comparison because Kyler's just kind of in neutral right now where, yeah, he's a top 10 quarterback because of the legs, but he's not really developing as a passer as we wanted him to. But they're also not – they gave him Marvin Harrison, and they got McBride and Harrison. They're not really giving him anything else to work with. So, But, yeah, John, any final thoughts for the good people tonight?
No. Don't draft. You never go full Giants QB room. Never. Don't ever do it. I've never felt so disgusting in my life.
We're going to say thank you guys for hanging out. Matt and John, thank you for hanging out with me on this Monday evening. We had a lot of fun. Scott, thank you for drafting with us. We'll line up another one of these soon. I would love to do a DraftKings draft with this group. I think it's just a different format. You got to think about, that's where those rookies start to be a little bit more attractive because weeks 15, 16, 17, man, I remember watching my week 17 DraftKings and I got Malik Neighbors and I'm feeling like a beast. I had Jerry Jeudy pop. Like I had just so many weird things happen that just get you like watching weird stuff in week 17. So I'd love to do a DraftKings one of these nights, but dude, it's football soon.
July's 21st. Let's get it.
Soon. I think I have to double check, but I think teams start reporting veterans start reporting this week and next week. So we'll have a lot of news and highlights to get at. But again, thank you guys for hanging out with us on a Monday evening. We appreciate you. We'll see you all very soon. Peace.
Got me feeling icy.